Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. Thank you for dropping by today. I really do appreciate it. This is the card I have to share with you. I hope you like it. It's a almost patchwork style card, and this uses the Countryside in Designer Series paper, and I've used a lovely embossing folder called Cable and Weave here in the background. I don't know if you can see that so well picking up on the camera, but it really gives it a lovely texture in the background. So let me show you how I made this. I'm going to start off with my Designer Series paper, and I've got a piece here that measures 8 centimeters squared, and this one is from the Delightfully Eclectic. And we're going to cut this up to make a little patchwork, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So I'm going to take my trimmer and we're going to cut 2 centimeter strips. So let's do this. You should get 4 strips. Okay, and last one. Okay, and then we're going to cut our strips into 2 centimeter squares. So I'm going to cut this just like this, and then we're going to cut these squares across diagonally. So let me get on and do these, and I'll catch you at the end. Okay, so we have all of our little squares here. Now we're just going to cut them in half on the diagonal, and I'll show you a couple, and then I'll just get on and do all of them, and then we can start to layer them up. And you're just going to cut literally point to point, just like that. So you can use a trimmer for this, but I find it much easier just to use the scissors. So I'm just going to get on and cut all of these up, and I'll catch you back at the end. So all of our little pieces here are cut beautifully. So now I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and this measures 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. I'm just going to bring in my silicone mat so I can try and contain any glue, and I'm just going to check that this measures 8 by 8, and it does. And then we're just going to start to arrange our little squares, and you should have 4 rows of them, and you can see we're just going to arrange our little squares just like that all the way across, and alternating the pattern. So let me show you. I'm just going to use Tombow. You could put glue down on the background and then add your Tombow and then add your pieces. I did do that the first time. I found it not the best for me because I just it didn't give me the wriggle room I needed to get things lined up always properly, and it just didn't work for me. But if it works for you, that's brilliant. So you do whatever works for you. What works for one person won't always work for the other. So I'm just using my tweezers here to hold my piece of paper, and we're just going through here and lining it up as best we can, just like that, trying to get it straight. And I'm going to continue to do that for my whole piece, and I'll put you on fast forward with some music, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so you can see my measuring wasn't always totally accurate, which is bad for me, but I'm just going to cut down this panel. I did this last time as well. So I'm going to cut a little bit on either side, about 0.5 centimeter on either side. So we've got 1/2 centimetre there, and about 1/2 centimetre there as well. And that's what I'm going to be left with, just like that. Hopefully doesn't look too bad. So let's start to build our card. Enough fancying about. Let's actually first, after saying that, let's do the stamping. Scrap piece here of basic white cardstock. Throwing my block around. Go to greetings, happy birthday. Night of Navy ink. Just gonna ink that up. Down, hold, smudge that. After that, that's all. Paper has 2 sides, you can just turn it over. We'll use, yeah, that'll do fine. Happy birthday. Close this up, set that aside. I'm going to leave that to dry for a second. Bring in our card base. This time I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. Last time I used Night of Navy. I have a piece here of basic white cardstock that measures 14.35 centimetres by 10, and this is just going to be my insert. Okay, so let's put this on the inside here. There we go. Now I have another piece of basic white, same size, that I've put through this cane weave 3D embossing folder. And as I said, I don't know if you can really see there what a lovely texture it gives in the background. You can hear the texture. I always say it's funny, but you can hear the texture when you put the tumbler down. You can hear how rough it is. That's all that lovely texture in the background. I do love embossing folders, just for adding that something in the background of a card. I think they're highly underrated. People forget about them, and yet they're such a lovely thing to use. Okay, so there we have that. So let's take our panel here, and I have a piece here of boho blue cardstock, and I'm just going to map this on the back of this. So let's do that now. I'm just going to try and get it even around the sides as much as possible. Just like that. And then we're going to use our scissors, we can find them, and I'm just going to cut freehand to cut this out. Just something simple like that. Okay. Set all of that aside and bring back our sentiment with our trimmer. And I just want to cut the strip down to measure 1 inch. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom like that. And then we wanted to measure 1 inch, which is there. Okay, and then we're going to cut a little bit off there as well. So that's what we have for that. And then I'm going to take our Happy Labels punch. I'm going to use one of these sides here. I'm going to use this one that looks like almost like a ticket perforation, and punch on either side just to give us something, a little bit of extra interest. Okay, back to a piece of balmy blue, and just going to this down, and then we'll cut round this as well. Okay. And if you have scissors with a longer blade, it really makes cutting around a piece like this so much easier. So let's bring back our card, and we're going to stick this down now. You could pop this up on dimensionals as well if you want. And for speed today, I'm just going to stick. I will pop my sentiment up though. So there we go. And then some dimensionals for my sentiment. I can feel I got glue all over my hand. As normal, I'm generous with my dimensionals. I don't want this popping off, especially with it's got all that texture in the background. So just take off all these backings. This one doesn't want to come off. Too much glue on my fingers. Everything wants to stick to them. Okay. And we're just going to pop this down below. Get rid of these backings. And then that's the card we made today. That's the one we made before. You can let me know which pattern you prefer. I hope you do like the cards though. If you do, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know, and please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. If you wanted more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, etc., it's all on the blog post on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative.